Welcome, traveler. Mind yourself in our town. For that price? Sure. Of course. Every night I pray that we don't get a visit from a dragon or that two armies don't show up to fight over the bridge. You ask if I'm worried. I'm terrified, if you want the truth of it. But I have to stay strong for my wife and children. Both the Imperials and Stormcloaks have sent riders this way, scouting the bridge and the lands nearby. They stayed at the inn but didn't pay. They said soldiers don't need to pay because they're risking their lives to protect us. And that's not all. They took a heap of our lumber, and one tried to have his way with my daughter. They think they can do whatever they want. I grew up an orphan on the streets of Markarth. I'd have died there too, but for the kindness of an old warrior named Logrolf the Bent. Logrolf rescued me and gave me enough money to get out of the city. I followed the Karth River north and came here. When I met Michelle, I knew this is where I belonged. I suppose that's it, really. Farewell.
Need something?
Where is that lazy man? No! I openly welcome the presence of armed strangers who have no reason to care about any of us. Of course it bothers me. I'm sure it's only a matter of time until they seize our mill in the name of their war effort. Next thing you know, there'll be more guards, and then we'll lose our homes as well. This is just the start of it. Mark my words. My husband owns it. Barely. He'll lose it soon enough. He's behind on his loan payments, but he drinks all his money away just the same. Now we're deep in debt, penniless, and about to lose our sole source of income.
Hmm?
Can I help you? Tell me, traveler. Do you have any regrets? Of course you do. We all do. They say regrets are the foundation of wisdom, for if we do not regret our mistakes, we are damned to repeat them. Our successes, meanwhile, need not to be remembered, for they only serve to bolster our temerity. That is why a general is haunted not by his victories in the battlefield, but those that slip from his grasp. You value trivial things. You yourself will become trivial when those qualities fade. But I suppose even then you can cling to the lifeboat of denial. I can do no such thing. I will not grasp for air while I lie at the bottom of this trench. The thief, the one that got away, an imperial woman based on the reports, and a lone operative. She's burglarized homes of a number of notable lords, thanes, and nobles. At times, she's even ransomed their children. She's outfoxed the city guards, evaded the Oculatos, and even managed to raffle prominent members of the Thieves' Guild. Unfortunately, the resources of the Empire are exhausted in tracking her down, forced the council to suspend all pursuit. Given the state of the Imperial coffers, it was cheaper to let her run free and compensate the Greed for their losses. Only I remain dedicated to the cause of justice. And what I lack in many resources, I make up for in will. I've chased her across Tamriel for the last 15 years, and I believe I'm closer than ever to catching her. I'm not sure what I find more incredulous, that you were a thief, or that you'd advertise this fact in the office of the Penitus Oculatos. Either way, you're not my problem any longer. I'm retired. It's the only way I can pursue this case without being reprimanded by my superiors. I do. It's been burned into the bone of my skull, from sketches and wanted posters and images from another time. A raven-haired woman, 32 years of age, with an aquiline nose and eyes the color of steel. She is as fearsome as an orc, but can be as cunning as a diplomat, and if need be, can charm you with the grace of a sylph. I meant it as an estimate, nothing more. In her description, she could be anywhere from 30 to 34 years of age. I choose the middle ground. I try to make my descriptions as accurate as possible, so that my words are not be distorted as they are conveyed to the next person. If I were to say she was in her early 30s, the information would quickly degrade as it passed from mouth to ear. For instance, someone might forget to include the word early. With just a simple omission, she can now be as old as 39. The Raven of Anvil is cunning enough on her own. It does us little good to cast more shadows which she can conceal herself. Not necessarily. Anvil is merely the site of our first great heist, one under the guise of a minstrel singing dirges for the dead. Hence the Raven of Anvil. The Countess's cousin had passed away, and she was now on her 12th day of mourning. She refused to eat, and refused to sleep. Soon her court was deprived of the same, as her mood grew more and more contemptuous, and seemed nothing would allay her grief. Many bards and poets came from all over Tamriel to celebrate the life of her cousin, in hopes of appeasing the Countess. Yet it seemed that even time itself had given up all hope, until the day a raven-haired minstrel walked into the castle with a gently strung flute. Those who were in attendance insisted that it was the saddest song ever heard by mortal ears. They claimed the sky rained for 7 days and 7 nights, as both the Countess and the divines exhausted all the tears. That night, the entire court slept for the first time in weeks. And when they awoke, they found their cases and coffers emptied of their valuables. It is a sad story, a tale of 2 deaths and 1 birth. The girl had talent to give the world a gift of joy, but she chooses to lead a life that brings nothing but sorrow. She has indeed. She's stolen my sanity, my youth, and nearly all of my will. Perhaps it's because I am nearing the infirmity of old age that I long for closure. Forgive me, but I no longer wish to speak of such things. Good day. Can I help you? A favor from Commander Morrow. He owed me from back when he was an initiate, and I was his inspector. More like what didn't happen. Commanders like Morrow may seem like hard and yielding men, and there is certainly that side to them. There is also the side that is a caring father, a loving husband and humble servant of the Empire. The side of kindness is something that is almost innate. Even as children, we know the value of friendship, empathy, and love. The other side, one that makes you a man, that must be forged through a crucible of blood, sacrifice, and at times, even apathy. It may surprise you to find out that the initiation for both the Dark Brotherhood and the Penitus Oculatos are one and the same. Both ask their initiates to shed the blood of a stranger as proof of their fealty, their mettle, and willingness to do the hard thing. When first presented with this task, Commander Morrow faltered, as do all men of conscience. It was then that I broke the rules. I told him who the target was, or more precisely what he was. It is as you might expect. Recruits are chosen for various positions and given tasks to determine their aptitude and readiness. Ironically, before he became Chief of Security, Commander Morrow was originally recruited as an assassin. In the Penitus Oculatos, the assassin is merely a tool. He's required to kill without questioning his orders. This is because the most dangerous of enemies typically come from within. The very advisors the Emperor trusts most are the ones likely to betray him. Withdrawal of power is a form of skooma that corrupts even the best of us. The assassin is the potion that purges it from the system. As such, he is often asked to target the very people he takes orders from, in order to serve the will of the only person he answers to. The life of an assassin is far from pleasant, which is why when Mara became a father, he chose a new path. Not necessarily. It is left up to the discretion of the inspector to choose the targets. Although I tended to choose mortals who were louts, thieves, and deviants, there were other inspectors who felt that defeated the purpose. After all, an assassin must be able to kill those whose morality is ambiguous, or possibly even leaning towards the scales of good. So it was our responsibility to create at the very minimum the idea that the targets were honest men. Some inspectors choose to forego the mirage. True enough, there is much misconception that the Penitus Oculatos acting as a security force implies being strictly defensive unit. On the contrary, the best way to stop an assassination is to root out the conspirators before their plans take form. As a former assassin, Commander Mara had the advantage of knowing how the enemy operates, and that is why he was chosen as the chief security agent. Very well. There have been several witnesses' accounts of a raven-haired thief posing as a bard. As you know, most who reside here are light of hair and tall in stature, which already narrows down the list of possible culprits. And while there are bards in Skyrim from here to Riften, there is only one capable of playing that song. Dusk at Little Harbor was its name, if I got it correctly. A beautiful but solemn tune about the sunset over the Gold Coast and the tragic death of a loved one. They say when dealing with others, you have to know when to use the carrot and when to use the stick. Yet by when, they really mean on who. I think the word when is rather appropriate. There's more than just differences from person to person. People themselves can have very different personalities depending on the time of day. You never want to berate your spouse, for instance, first thing in the morning. Olda seems to neglect this advice. Life is easy when your goals are small. When your goals are large, the problem comes not from failure, but from your inability to cope with it. Whether you reach for the stars or plow the earth, don't let the task consume you. If only I could take such sage advice. Until next time. Citizen.
You must be lost. The tavern is down the road a piece.
What do you need? Citizen. Citizen. What do you need?
I'm fairly certain you wandered into the wrong building, friend.
Can I help you?
Hello. Yeah? Hello.
Out with it.
Working hard gives a man reason for drinking hard. Well, that and putting up with a wife like mine. Her name's Olda. If you've met her, then you probably already know what I'm talking about. I swear that woman is the most spiteful shrew in all of Skyrim. I think there's a chunk of ice where her heart ought to be. Hard to say. It's ancient. That much we know for sure. It was here long before the town itself. I just hope the bridge survives the war. It's the only place you can cross the Karth River for a long way in either direction. Could be if one side wants to keep the other from coming across, they might try to knock it down. Damn right it has. Demand's never been so high. At least not since I built the new mill. Until next time.
Keep walking, stranger.
I'm hoping to run.